and welcome to Speak to Tisha. Today's guest, Jose Flores. Jose is the founder of Indispensable now. He's also the author of Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard. And I must say it's a great read, so make sure you get a copy of this book. Jose is also a coach and a motivational speaker, and really just a wonderful soul that will change how you think. So Jose, welcome to the show. I'm so very pleased that you're sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Tisha. Thank you so much for having me and exposing your audience to me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So I was talking with you earlier, and I know I met you at the Les Brown experience. And I have to tell you, when you hit the stage, I was on the edge of my seat because you were so inspiring and so motivating. And I really want to thank you for motivating me. So give us a little update. Tell us what's going on. I know you are a man of all areas and of the town. So tell me what's going on with your life.
Yeah, so, that event with Les Brown and Cody and the rest of the team, that was amazing. I was actually on tour with Les Brown last year, and that was one of the spots that we were going to. So it's just been fun. The journey has been great since then. I'm just still rocking and rolling, pedal to the metal, shaking and baking, and making things happen and having fun along the way.
I love the shaking and baking because I can kind of relate to that myself. Now, when you were on stage, you were talking about your book, and I want you to kind of delve a little bit more into your book because for me, I did get your book, by the way. It was there at the event. And I have to tell you, it was riveting. To me, it spoke volumes. It was really powerful, a very powerful message that you put out there. So in your book, I want you to give me the 3 biggest factors that will change people's life. I mean, I know what they are, but I want you to speak about them a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3 main factors of the book is the whole purpose of it is that I want people to learn more, do more, and become more. And the reason I wrote that book, Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard, how to be indispensable even when the odds are stacked against you, is because, man, we're all going to go through things in life. We're going to go through ups and downs, hills and valleys. Things are going to happen unexpectedly. And, we have to deal with them. And it's how we deal with them that's going to determine the type of lifestyle that we live, what our future is going to look like, and ultimately what our destiny is going to be. And so that's the purpose of the book. I just wanted to inspire and motivate everyone to learn more, do more, and become more, and not let their struggles become their standards, because we're going to all go through struggles in life, multiple struggles throughout our life, because it's just a part of life. It is what it is. So if we can learn to develop the proper mindset, learn to develop the proper, habits and routines to become successful, then we will be. But most of the time what happens is that when someone goes through a struggle or a hard time or a tragedy, they get stuck. They get stuck and they park right where they are and they settle. Even though they don't want to settle, they just wind up settling because they're just so overwhelmed and frustrated and they don't know what to do, or maybe they don't have a support system or anything like that, but they just settle where they are. Mm-hmm. And I just want to come along and give them that little push and say, come on, let's go, baby girl, or let's go, baby boy. You can make it. There's light at the end of this tunnel, and I want to help get you there.
Exactly. And you're so correct, because we all do it, and you did say it. It is a part of life. We all have struggles and tragedies that we go through in our life. And I know on a personal note, I know that you have gone through something yourself. And if you would like to share that, please do, because you are amazing. And I love your energy, and I love what you bring to the stage. So can you tell our listeners what has gone on in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I appreciate your show, unscripted, unedited, because you just want to give people the real raw. And I think that's one of the things that sets me apart from a lot of speakers, is that I'm real and raw as well. I'm transparent, I'm authentic, and I just shoot straight from the heart. And, one of the things what happened to me was I was born actually with a neuromuscular condition called spinal muscular atrophy. And what that does is the older I get, the weaker my muscles get. So this is one of those things that I'm talking about, right? Like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be born like this. It's just something that happened. And, it took me a long time to figure certain things out, and it took me a while to get my mind right because I was very rebellious when I was younger and angry and upset because I just felt like I wasn't given the proper chance at life being born like this. Mm-hmm. And so It was, it was a journey for me, just like everyone else. We all, no one's born into the perfect family. No one's born into the perfect situation. Even if you are born into wealth and prosperity, there's a lot of dysfunction that comes with that as well. So every family just, has their certain level of dysfunction.
Oh,
and so, so we just have to know how to, navigate through those situations. And so for me, the doctor said that I'd end up in a wheelchair by the age of 15, and that didn't happen until I was 22 years old. So you can imagine that's like when we're officially considered adults, 21, 22, and you're about to go figure out life and take advantage of opportunities. And here I am, I lose my ability to walk from one day to the next.
And go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, and then I was going to say that the doctors, on top of, saying that I was going to be in a wheelchair by the age of 15, they also weren't even expecting me to live past my teenage years.
Wow.
So when I was 22 and ended up in a wheelchair, I already knew that the doctors were wrong. And I already knew that I was still surviving because I was always a fighter. I always had that fight inside of me. And I'm excited to say that this year I celebrated my 42nd birthday.
Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you are, like I said, I mean, I don't know how I can convey, if I had something here, I would just convey my excitement, because I really, truly am excited that you're on the show today. Now, you do, like I said, you're talking about your own personal struggles. When did you finally change your mindset and your outlook on life? Because we do have a very powerful computer in our, in our bodies here. So when did you first realize that change and that outlook on life?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was, I would say it was in my, my late 20s, early 30s. And it wasn't that I had a bad attitude, because, it took a few years after I ended up, wound up in the wheelchair. It took a few years to kind of accept it and deal with it. But once I did, I always had a great attitude, even as a young boy, and knowing that I had this condition inside of me and going through it and everything that I had to go through, I always had a pretty good attitude, and I was always encouraging other people, and, I just had a great spirit. And, going through that, I struggled, internally. I didn't really share a lot of my feelings with people, my parents or friends, maybe once in a while I did, but, it was just something that I was like, I held on to inside, and so I was very upset, very angry. And it took me, until like I was in my late 20s, early 30s, that I really just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. At first, after I graduated high school, I didn't go to college because, school, I felt like school wasn't for me, and I was just not in the mental state because, listen, at the end of the day, I wasn't really concerned about college. I was just concerned about surviving.
Right,
the doctor said that by the age of, I wasn't going to pass my teenage years. So at this point, I'm in survival mode. Like, hey, this thing could take me out at any point. So, and just, going through all of that, it was like in my late 20s, early 30s where I really got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Before I was working in corporate America, right after, during high school and right after high school, I was on, disability. And I was like, man, who can live off of a measly $800 a month?
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's crazy. So I went and got a job, and I worked in corporate America for over 20 years. And just recently, last year, I've been speaking professionally for 4 years, but just last year, I actually got laid off from my job that I was with for 7 years. Prior to that, I was with another company for 12 years. And but the company I was with last year, they wound up laying me off right in January. And my goal was to actually quit that job at the end of last year in December, because at this point I was already getting paid for speaking. I was already selling my books. My book was out. So I was making money, but I wasn't quite where I wanted to be financially for me to quit the job yet. But I knew by the end of the year that I would be there. So, they wound up laying me off, and I could have went and got another corporate job because I have a ton of experience in corporate America and hospitality, customer service, and even supervisor and managerial positions. But I was just like, you know what, man, this is the opportunity for me to go all in. And I had just finished coming from Mississippi and speaking at a big event out there. I made like $15,000. And so I had some money, saved up in the bank. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this entrepreneurial thing, and I'm going to go all in on my dreams and see what happens. And all last year was a struggle, but, I was able to make it. Every time, I was tight, something showed up, and God provided. But this year, the funniest about this year is that the first quarter of this year, 2019, I made more in this first quarter than I did all of last year.
Wow. And see, that's amazing, because I feel you talk about your mindset and how you overcame things. Now, some people may look at you and they'll say, oh, well, he's a failure. He's, not good enough. What do you say to those people? Because with failure, you learn, it motivates you to get to the next level. And my opinion of failure is that it's a learning lesson in life. So when people come around with that mindset, how do you approach them?
Well, for me, the only book cover that we actually have a right to judge is an actual physical book. Because the reality is that we do judge those type of books by their covers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to human beings, we can't do that. We just, we don't know what that person's been through. We don't know what that person has survived or has endured. We don't know what that person's mindset is. And so we shouldn't be doing that, and I've dealt with that my whole life, with people stereotyping me and being judgmental about me. And it always amuses me because, like you said, people see me in a wheelchair and they automatically think that because I'm in a wheelchair, that since my legs don't work, that my brain doesn't work either.
Exactly.
And that I'm just like this. I'm just like this dumb guy in a wheelchair that doesn't know any better. Mm-hmm. And once they start to have a conversation with me, and once they start to actually see and get to know me and get to know what I'm doing, and it kind of like, it puts things into perspective for them, and that changes their mindset when it comes to judging other people, because they're like, wow, you know how many times people have asked me, well, you don't work, do you? Are you on disability? And I'm like, no, actually, I work a job. Like, even when I was in corporate America, I was making like $60,000, $70,000 a year, more than most average people do.
Correct.
And I was doing it from a wheelchair. So when I tell people, I work a job, I work a regular job, and I'm in corporate America. And they're like, oh, wow, you do? And I'm like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like thinking, like, to be honest, I probably make more than you, but, that's another that's another story. But, again, I've always had to deal with this. And in the beginning, it used to really frustrate me, and I used to get into arguments with people about it, because I was like, man, how can people be so ignorant and so insensitive? And so I had and of course, I'm from the Bronx, New York, so I already have that toughness built inside of me.
Right.
So, and plus I'm Puerto Rican, so we're, New York and Puerto Rican, we're already like aggressive by nature.
There's nothing wrong with that, Jose. If you're Puerto Rican, you're from the Bronx, you're my kind of company, that's for sure.
Yeah, right? We're some of the best people on the planet.
Exactly.
But, we don't take no bull crap either, so we have to, so I've always had to deal with that, and I used to put a lot of people in their place. But as I got older and more mature, I've learned different strategies and different ways to deal with it. I was just recently, actually, just to give you a practical story, I was just recently in Whole Foods the other day with my wife shopping, and the cashier looked at me and she said, oh, what's wrong with you? And that right there, it really used to upset me. And even till today, sometimes it really kind of like, it plucks my nerve. Mm-hmm. But, before I answered her, I kind of like paused for a second. I looked at my wife to I was like assessing the situation and figuring, well, should I get kind of like fresh with the lady and say, well, there's nothing wrong with me. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
Or just kind of like entertain and let her know what's going on. But, that right there is one of the things that really gets me, when people say like, well, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with me. Why? What's wrong with you? Like, what, do you see something wrong with me? Like, right. So anyhow, the lady, I kind of paused, and then so since I didn't answer her, she looked at my wife. And my wife kind of told her, like, oh, he was born with, spinal muscular atrophy, and it weakens his muscle. And then she looked at me again, and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Mm. And at that point, I'm like, all right, lady, I gave you one chance. Now you're pushing it. Right. You're pushing it, too close to the edge. So I was like, listen, you don't have to feel sorry for me at all whatsoever. I was like, I live an amazing life. I'm super happy. I'm super joyful. And I'm super excited to be alive. Mm-hmm. How about you?
A good answer. You kind of put her in her place in a nice way. I love that.
Yeah,
And
so it's just that came with a lot of grace, a lot of patience, a lot of learning.
oh yeah, absolutely. And now, speaking of your wife, has she impacted your motivation as a speaker? And how does she take care of your professionalism and your professional motivational talks that are going on out there?
Yeah, if it wasn't for my wife, and you saw when I was at the event, you saw me, I always honor her. I make
Oh,
her stand up and I
absolutely.
honor her
Yep.
in front of everywhere we go, every engagement, no matter where we are, no matter what type of event it is. I always take a few moments to honor my wife, because the reality is that if it wasn't for her, I really wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing today.
Exactly. And just as a side note, she's part of the Red Hair Club. I've got red hair. My management company, the director has red hair. So red haired women, they're really good. But
Awesome, awesome. That's right. Red hot, baby, hot. Yeah. And so,
exactly.
I tell people that she's a real MVP, of everything, because she's the one, and she motivates me, like sometimes, a lot of people, my wife will tell people like, or they'll tell my wife like, man, he looks like he never has a bad day. And he just like, well, he usually never does, but he does. He's human. Sometimes he does, but it's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
And, on those days that I am down or whatever, or feeling unmotivated, she's just right there, like motivating, like, baby, come on, you can do this. Don't let this grip you. Don't let this take over. Shake this thing off. And, when I'm down, it just lasts maybe a couple hours, maybe a day. But that's after that, then I'm right back at it, because we hold each other. We're accountable to each other, and we motivate each other. And I'm just glad that we're never down at the same time, because then I don't know what that would look like.
Yeah, exactly.
But usually when I'm down, she's lifting me up. When she's down, I'm lifting her up. And that's how it's been through our whole relationship. So we have an amazing relationship. But yeah, as far as that, she does a lot of the back office stuff. She books appointments. She books, she gets on the phone with people. She closes deals, and she does some of the social media. And but yeah, when I'm on stage, I'm the face of the company. So when I'm on stage, I'm up there doing my thing. And little by little, she's actually starting to speak a little bit as well. She's an introvert by nature, but she's a phenomenal speaker. I'm always telling her, like, babe, you need to get out there. And she's like, oh, that's just not my thing. And I'm like, listen, it doesn't have to be your thing, but you don't even realize how much impact you can have on other people's lives. So little by little, she's coming along. I think that with this book, that's going to really catapult us to the next level. Absolutely. Because we're doing it together, and we're going to have to talk together. And she's okay with that as long as we're doing it together. She's more so like uncomfortable doing it in a bigger and larger environment on her own. But in a smaller setting, or if we do it together, she's fine. So I'm like, babe, don't worry about it. We're going to be together. We're going to rock it out. We're going to rock whatever house we're in. And so we're super excited about that, because we're writing a book. It's called What Real Love Looks Like: How to Have It All Even When You Don't Have It All. And we're creating a curriculum with it as well, because we want to inspire other marriages. We know that there's a ton of marriages out there that are hurting and struggling, and sometimes you see them and they look happy on the outside, but on the inside they're all broken. The family's broken. They're miserable. They're bitter. The fire's kind of duffed out, and we want to just help spark that fire again, and then help fan the flame through our book and the curriculum. So that's the goal for next year with the book, and just super exciting things that we're doing and that are coming up the pipeline.
Well, I'm sure you guys can run circles around other couples out there, because I've seen both of you interacting with each other, and the love that you both have between you, it is absolutely amazing. I mean, people would just die to have what you and your wife Dre have with each other. So again, very inspiring. Now, as far as achievements, tell me, what has been your proudest achievement that to date?
You're talking about personal or professional?
Anything, whatever you and however you want to answer that.
Well, I'll give you both. Personally, my greatest achievement has been finding my beautiful wife and getting married and having two amazing sons. That's my greatest personal achievement. That was actually my biggest dream growing up, was wondering if a woman was ever going to love me like this, and if I was going to be able to have a family. And, thank God he's given me my wife and my two beautiful children. And, we own our own home. I drive my own car with hand controls. We run out, we do our own thing with our business. And, I don't say that to boast, but just to let people know that dreams are still coming true today. And I'm a very big, uh, I'm a very big, I'm very big on people chasing their dreams because they can become a reality. Sometimes people think that the dreams are too big or too far out there, that they're unattainable, but I'm here to let them know that they are attainable, no matter how big or no matter how far, no matter how ridiculous or crazy they may be, that they're attainable. So you need to go after them. And then professionally, my biggest accomplishment has been not only writing my book, but also having Les Brown, the great Les Brown, the living legend, the GOAT Les Brown, write the foreword to the book, and also being able to go on tour with him.
Wow.
He's just an amazing dude. He's like my spiritual father. I call him Pops. And he's just an amazing human being. And when I decided that I wanted to become a speaker as well, and I'm on YouTube Googling motivational speakers, and I'm seeing I'm seeing all these different speakers, that are great speakers, but I resonated with his story the most, and with his personality, just with his charisma, with his compassion. And then he was my mentor before I even met him, and then getting to meet him and then building a relationship with him and having him endorse me, my book and do video endorsements for me, and then asking me to come on tour with him. It's just been an amazing dream come true, because I know that people are out there that would die to be in my position, to be able to have one of these living legends, mentor them, coach them, and be a friend. He gives me, advice, not only professionally, but personally, with things that I'm going through. He gives me advice and he counsels me. And so it's just an amazing position to be in, to have somebody like him in my life. So professionally, I would say, getting to meet him and writing a book and having him endorse it would be my greatest accomplishment as of right now. I also have other ambitions and things that I'm going to be doing as well. But that's my main one right now, is just being able to rock and roll with Les and just being able to know him personally. And, I was able to visit him in the hospital. As for those of your listeners that know, he's a 22-year cancer conqueror. And, sometimes he's in the hospital, and I'm able to visit him and pray with him, and just, we're like family now. So it's just an amazing feeling to know that, man, you were able to get the attention of one of the greats.
Oh, yeah.
And he was able to put you under his wing and take you for a ride. And that right there is just like, that doesn't happen, every day or frequently. So just to be able to be in that position is an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, Les Brown is like not a personal friend, but I resonate to his message, and we definitely want to have Les on the show. So Les, if you're listening, we definitely want to reach out to you. You reach out to us, and we'll get you on the show. He is an amazing man. But what I like about Les is that he's real. Okay, he's very real. And when I have people on my show, I get people who are real, and that's why the show is unedited, unscripted, just real conversation. Now, the other thing I want to ask you is, thank you. You talk about keeping people motivated. Your motto is like, keep pushing forward. What is it with the keep pushing forward? Is there something that reminds you each day and that you pay it forward to people to keep pushing it forward? How do you go about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. My main thing is not only keep pushing forward, but my slogan, which is also the title of my podcast, is called the I Won't Stop Until I Win podcast. But it's just, I won't stop until I win, which goes hand in hand with keep pushing forward. And it's just again, just, when my parents divorced when I was 2 years old. My real father passed away when I was 10. I end up in a wheelchair at 22. Wow. I mean, that's like the perfect formula to just end it all.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or be this horrible person with a horrible attitude, just throwing my life away. And I decided, that I didn't want to go down that path. And we all have that same choice and decision that we can make. So again, I want to tell anyone that's listening right now, no matter where you come from, no matter what you've been through, or no matter what you're currently going through, you need to keep pushing forward. And you need to not stop until you win. Because there's people that are counting on you. You were born with special gifts, talents, and abilities that you bring to the table. And there's people out there that are counting on you to keep showing up for life.
Absolutely.
And I remember one of my mentors told me, he said, He said, you know what, Jose, I'm going to give him a shout out too. His name is Victor Antonio. If you don't know who he is, Google him or YouTube him. Phenomenal speaker. He travels all over the globe as well. Heavy hitter, real influencer. But he said, you know what, Jose? He said, every day that you don't put out a video or you don't put a post up or you don't put a piece of content out, you're being selfish and arrogant.
He's right.
That clicked for me in my head. You hear people say certain things, and just sometimes, and you may have heard it before, but when he said it, it clicked in my head. And I said, wow, every day that I don't wake up and do something, I'm being selfish and arrogant. And I said, wow, that is amazing. Because at the end of the day, Tisha, there's people that are counting on me to show up for life and put something out into the atmosphere that's going to help them push through their day. Maybe they may be having a bad day. Maybe they had an argument with their spouse or their children, or maybe their children have, gone astray, or they're rebelling, or whatever the case may be. Maybe they're dealing with a sickness or illness, and they go on social media or they watch one of my videos and they're like, man, if this guy's in a wheelchair and he's doing what he's doing, then I need to keep pushing too. My family's counting on me. My community is counting on me. My employer's counting on me. My coworkers are counting on me. My employees are counting on me. If you're a business owner, my listeners, like you and I that have podcasts, my listeners are counting on us to show up and put this content out there, because you never know what's going to be said, what's going to be heard, and what's going to be the transformational factor in someone's life.
Exactly, and you do speak that very well, because there have been times when I have put, videos out on social media, and somebody has remarked to me, oh my God, I needed to hear that this day. The same with you. I'm sure you hear the same thing, that, oh my God, I'm so thankful that you put this out there. And again, thank you for putting those things out there, because it is very important that you convey a positive message and give hope out to the world, because in this world that we live in, I've said it many times, there are so many negatives out there that are happening. So question for you, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself, your business, your company, your life? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
And 5 years from now, I see myself traveling the globe and impacting multiple millions of lives. Hopefully on a private jet, we'll see. If that can happen within 5 years. Hey, we have to dream crazy, right?
Exactly.
I have a friend of mine that his slogan is, you have to be crazy to win. So, but hey, whether it's on a private one or not, my goal is to, within the next 5 years, is to continue traveling the globe, making massive impact, touching people's lives, helping people to see life from a new perspective, to achieve unlimited possibilities.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. I truly love that. Well, Jose, I do have to tell you that you have been a marvelous guest on my show. I really, really, truly appreciate your time today. What I would also like to know is where we could find you, how the listeners can get your books, how they can find you on social media, and if Dre's out there as well, how they can find her. So can you kind of give us where, where that's going to be happening, and also any events that you're going to be upcoming in the area as well. So tell my listeners what's going on in that department.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can follow me on any social media platform at Jose Inspires. You can follow my wife as well. Her handle is at Mrs. Inspires.
Aww.
And they go, if they want to get the book or check out the podcast or book me for an event, they can go to joseinspires360.com. Everything is on the website as far as booking me, my podcast, what I talk about, what my keynotes are about, my book, and other services and products that I have. I also do a 10-week mental toughness mastermind that I do. I also have a book writing masterclass that I do as well that they can sign up for. So if anybody's listening and they've been wanting to write a book and they know they have a book inside of them, they just don't know how to get started, or they just need an accountability partner and want all the information that's going to walk them through from A to Z, they can sign up for that as well. And on October the 17th, next month, this October 17th, 2019, I'm going to be throwing my second BOSS event. It's called the BOSS event, which stands for Business of Speaking Seminar.
Oh.
So they can get tickets for that at joseboss.com, or they can go to JoseInspires360.com. But if they want to get tickets to the event, they can go to JoseBoss.com. That'll take them right to the ticket page where they can purchase the tickets. And we also have VIP options, which is going to be amazing. That's going to include lunch with me and all the other speakers. It's going to include a swag bag and front row seating. So if you don't have to necessarily be a speaker, but if you speak to other human beings, whether on the phone or in person, you'll want to be at this event, because we're not only going to show you the business of speaking, but we're also going to show you just how to communicate and connect with people on a different level, to where people are compelled to want to work with you, want to know more about you, want to know who you are, and do business with you. So if you're a real estate agent, you work in customer service, you do sales, you're a car salesman, listen, if you're a mechanic and you're dealing with customers, this event is for you. So I want you to show up. It's October the 17th. It's at the Hampton Inn in downtown Fort Lauderdale in the Las Olas area. Valley parking is included, and there's also going to be an exclusive networking opportunity immediately after the event at the bar lounge at the hotel. So everything is going to be right there. We're going to have some phenomenal speakers, phenomenal hosts, and it's just going to be an all-day event where we're going to just pour out nuggets and value, because #value wins.
Awesome. And that sounds great. I am so excited that you're having this, because I'm definitely probably going to show up for sure. So, Jose, I have to tell you, thank you so much for being a part of Speak to Tisha. I really appreciate you coming on board today. Let me ask you this. Will you come back and give us some more updates in the future?
Absolutely. Whenever I get the phone call, you can count on me to show up.
Oh, great. I'm so happy for you. So, Jose, thank you again. Please make sure that you go out and get Jose's book. It's Don't Let Your Struggle Become Your Standard. Jose, thank you again for coming to the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and you keep on rocking and rolling and shaking and baking, because you're making waves. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jose Flores, and you just listened to Speak to Tisha.
This segment is sponsored by Global Resources Organization, where innovation meets possibility. For more information, please visit www.globalresourcesorganization.com.